Data by the Central Bank of Nigeria shows that the country's currency in circulation rose by 93.3% to 4.1 trillion naira, with about 6.6% within the banking sector. Abdulazeez Kuranga, regional economist for West Africa Standard Bank Group, joins me for this discussion. Abdulazeez, thank you for joining us on the show today. It's quite interesting, these numbers that are coming out, from the CBN, the amount of cash in the banking sector and that outside of the banking sector. Total currency in circulation, 4.1 trillion, 3.8 trillion of that amount is in the hands of, is outside of the banking sector, in the hands of individuals, in the hands of businesses. That's 93%. How did we get here? What has triggered this? And it's been something that's continued for a while. How did we get here?
First of all, this currency outside the banking system, so it's just the normal cash, right. And they are actually printed to be spent for purchasing activities and buying and selling activities. There's really no use printing this, and the people are not using it to transact and the likes. And if you look at between 1981 to about 2022, the average currency outside the banking system is about 85–90% of the total currency in circulation. So this just further underscores that views that money is being printed just to be spent by everybody. So in our view, so it's really not an issue. And so this is actual cash. So sometimes we tend to look at these numbers on a nominal basis, maybe right. In trillions of naira, billions of naira, and all those figures, they are very big. However, if you look at it as per historical levels, so it's usually around 90–85%, and current level is about 93% of currency in circulation.
So you're saying this is not a problem?
It's really not a problem. So I'm still, still further saying, justifying that as a percentage of total money supply. Historically, we used to have about, it used to average about 6–7% of total money supply. Currently is about 3.22% of money supply. So that's really still not an issue. And if you also look at it as a percentage of your GDP, so which tells you how much cash is actually chasing your productive base, it's about 2.3%. And in this, you have to compare with other countries of the world, probably Nigerian peers and the likes. So for instance, if you take the neighbors here, Ghana, if you take that as of 2021, 2022, cash outside the banking system as a percentage of GDP was about 4.1%. In South Africa, it's about 3.5%. If you look at Kenya, about 2.7%. Rwanda, 3.1%. So Nigeria is even still low. So that cash as a percentage of your GDP is even still not enough for your productive base, which is why we were not surprised when the CBN governor, after that monetary policy meeting last week, he was saying that they want to send another 1.4 trillion naira cash to the banks to address these cash challenges that we're having in Nigeria. So which just further underscores that view that cash necessarily is not a problem. So money supply, to get your money supply, we have the M1, and that M1 is actually your demand deposits plus your currency outside the banking system. Demand deposit is about 30%. Okay. Currency outside the banking system is about 3.6%. Then you add that with your quasi money, which are your near money. Those are like the biggest challenges with money supply in Nigeria today. There are about 67% of money supply. So that your M1 plus your quasi money will be giving you your M2. So cash alone is not a problem at all. In fact, it is not enough. Based on historical averages, as a percentage of money supply, M2, and also as a percentage of your GDP.
Because this then threw up questions around where does this live, or where is the CBN's cashless drive in all of this? I know that the CBN has been trying to get Nigerians to spend less cash, transact more with electronic channels, online, and not actual cash. And then, of course, bringing more Nigerians into the formal banking system where they're actually under its financial inclusion drive. So that's the angle of, okay, how is this impacting, when we look at all this cash in the system, where does this leave the financial inclusion drive, where does this leave the cashless drive? Are we still on track, or is this not a problem for those two initiatives, cashless drive and financial inclusion?
We don't really see that for now as a problem for now. Because even when we had that beginning of the cashless drive, 2014, 2015, so it was still around the same levels the level of cash is still around the same level of about 6%, 5% of total cash in circulation. And you know, of course, as you are moving forward as you are going every year, the productive base increases, and as the productive base is increasing, even actual cash should also be increasing, although not up to the productive base, and that is when you know that at least you are still tilting in line with the cashless drive.
So is this going to continue? Is CBN going to let this continue? Can we expect the cash in circulation to continue to grow, because it has grown significantly this year? Is this a trend that's going to continue, and will the CBN just leave things as they are?
It's not going to continue. For now, the challenge still remains that people are not able to access cash, even as we are doing the cashless drive. So until once we get out to that stage that people are able to access cash wherever, then we think that I will probably see a reduction in terms of CBN trying to send cash to the banking system. But for now, based on historical trends, percentage of money supply, and how these are actually chasing the funding base or the productive base of the economy, even as you are seeing a year-on-year growth and the likes, it's still really not enough for your productive base.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much, Abdulazeez, for talking to us today and helping us shed more light on that. Abdulazeez Kuranga, he's a regional economist for West Africa at the Standard Bank Group.